Dragons Rising has been a wild ride, full of high-stakes battles, rich lore, and heartfelt character moments that longtime fans can truly appreciate. In this video, we're going to dive deep into Season 3, recapping its key events, analyzing our heroes, old and new, like Arin, Sora, and Lloyd, and exploring how the latest chapter ties back into Ninjago's vast history and world building. This season has everything, from shocking team-ups and betrayals to ancient dragons and realms reborn. Season 3 picks up with our heroes facing new perils in a world forever changed by the Merge, the cataclysmic event that fused Ninjago with all 16 realms of creation. In this merged world, chaos reigns, and new threats emerge from every corner. The Imperium conflict might have simmered down after Empress Beatrix's defeat, but a new evil rises to take center stage: the Forbidden Five, a cabal of ancient, corrupted elemental masters from the wilderness. These undead warriors, essentially Ninjago's darkest legends, escape their imprisonment and set out to gather 5 powerful prismatic blades across the realms. Why? To free an even greater threat sealed away ages ago: Thunderfang, the Shattered Dragon of Chaos. Meanwhile, the Ninja team is scattered and dealing with their own crises. Lloyd Garmadon, our seasoned green ninja, is trying to hold everyone together as they search for 2 missing allies: Jay, who vanished after losing his memory in the last tournament, and Arin, the young new ninja who shockingly left the team. Yes, you heard that right. Arin defected, at least temporarily. Driven by the heartbreaking loss of his parents during the Merge and a promise of answers, Arin makes a desperate alliance with none other than Lord Ross, the very villain who once led Imperium's Dragon Hunters and later the Wolf Clan. Ross cunningly reveals a painful secret: that Master Wu was responsible for causing the Merge, and dangles the hope of finding or reviving Arin's parents. Feeling betrayed and conflicted, Arin chooses to follow Ross in the hope he can reverse the Merge and bring his family back. Arin's departure is a gut punch for the team, especially for his best friend Sora. But the mission must go on. While Lloyd and the remaining ninjas scramble to prevent the Forbidden Five from succeeding in their apocalyptic quest, Sora refuses to abandon Arin to Ross's influence. Determined and brave, Sora decides to follow Arin and infiltrate Ross's operation, partly to help her friend see sense, and partly because she believes in doing whatever it takes to save those she cares about. Sora joins Arin and Ross on their journey to find a supposed way to resurrect Arin's parents, unaware that Ross harbors a sinister ulterior motive. As these personal dramas unfold, the larger battle rages on. The Forbidden Five tear through the merged realms, clashing with our heroes in a race against time. Each prismatic blade they acquire brings them one step closer to unshackling Thunderfang, the primordial dragon of chaos. We witness battles in strange new locales, including the eerie spectral lands. The ninja confronted the Five's undead powers and their deadly shatterspin technique, while also dealing with classic Ninjago villains popping up amidst the chaos. Eventually, the Forbidden Five succeed in their goal. In Episode 9, Chaos Unchained, they use the assembled prismatic blades to free Thunderfang from his ancient prison. The mighty Shattered Dragon of Chaos rises, a colossal serpent dragon wreathed in swirling red storms and crackling energy. This is the moment Season 3 has been building toward, and it doesn't disappoint. In true Ninjago fashion, the villains learn, be careful what you wish for. Thunderfang immediately betrays the Forbidden Five, draining their souls to empower himself. With the Forbidden Five effectively neutralized by their own monstrous ally, the final battle becomes ninja versus dragon. Thunderfang, now loose in the merged world, threatens to destroy all realms and remake them in chaos, even boasting that he will ascend to become one of the almighty source dragons. The ninja unleash everything they've got. We even see Arin return to the side of good at this critical juncture. Realizing the gravity of Thunderfang's threat, he breaks away from Raz and rejoins his friends in the fight. It's all hands on deck, new ninja and original ninja united to save the world once more. In the climactic Episode 10, The Shattered Dragon, the team executes a daring plan, summoning the Archdragon of Focus, a legendary dragon ally representing order and focus, to counter the Dragon of Chaos. With an ancient ritual, they manage to call forth this magnificent Archdragon, which joins the battle against Thunderfang in a showdown for the ages. The skies of Ninjago darken with swirling energies as order versus chaos plays out in dragon form above our heroes. Thanks to the ninjas' unity and focus, Thunderfang is weakened and ultimately defeated, exploded into shards of dark energy, or sealed away once more. The merge quakes and chaotic storms subside. The merged realms are saved from utter destruction. Victory, but at a cost. In the aftermath, there's little time for celebration. Lord Ross, ever the opportunist, escapes the battle battle's fallout and tries to proceed with his own twisted agenda. He still promises Arin that there might be a way to bring back Arin's parents, who Arin believed were dead, by using forbidden techniques. True to form, Ross's plan is macabre. He attempts to harness the power of source dragons by creating profane source dragon icons, even going so far as to sacrifice Sora as part of a dark ritual. This is the breaking point. Arin, already shaken by Thunderfang's betrayal and Ross's ruthlessness, finally sees Ross for the villain he truly is. In an intense confrontation, Arin and Sora turn on Ross before he can complete the ritual. Sora uses her technopathic powers in a clutch move to free herself, and Arin clashes blades with his former mentor figure, protecting Sora. During this struggle, a remarkable truth comes out. Arin's parents are not gone after all. In fact, they have been alive this whole time. Whether Ross knew and lied, or the heroes discover it through fate, the revelation hits Arin hard and joyfully. Ultimately, Ross is defeated or flees into the shadows, and Arin finally reunites with his parents, bringing a heartfelt resolution to his personal quest. This reunion is a tender moment that Season 3 earned through all of Arin's trials. You'll definitely want a tissue handy as Arin embraces his mom and dad, tears in his eyes, with Sora and the rest of the ninja smiling on. And so, by the end of Season 3, the new ninja team is whole again. Arin has grown wiser from his journey, Sora has proven her loyalty and heart, and Lloyd's faith in the next generation is stronger than ever. The major threats, Imperium's tyranny, the Forbidden Five's gambit, and Thunderfang's chaos, have been vanquished, at least for now, but Ninjago never stays quiet for long. Season 3 leaves us with a renewed team and plenty of lore threads for the future. Before we speculate on what's next, let's take a closer look at our main characters and what Season 3 meant for each of them, as well as the rich lore this season gave us. Let's start with Arin, who truly shines as the heart of Season 3's story. From the moment he was introduced in Dragon's Rising, Arin has been one of the most relatable and energetic characters, a true ninja fanboy turned hero. Remember, this is the kid who literally taught himself spinjitzu by sheer belief and determination, an impossible feat without a master's instruction. That alone made longtime fans sit up and take notice. In the Ninjago universe, spinjitzu is usually passed down from masters like Wu or learned through intense training, but Arin, having grown up idolizing the legendary ninja, was so determined that he spun himself into a tornado one day and pulled it off. Arin began as an upbeat, enthusiastic apprentice under Lloyd's guidance, essentially the audience surrogate for those of us who grew up watching the original Ninja. He's the one geeking out over meeting Lloyd, asking a million questions, and keeping that optimistic spark alive even when things looked bleak. But Season 3 really matures Arin. We see him face profound internal conflicts that parallel some of the classic heroes' journey arcs we've seen in Ninjago's past. In a way, Arin's temptation to join Ross echoes Lloyd's own struggles with destiny in earlier seasons. Though Lloyd never outright left the team, he too had moments of doubt or isolation. Arin's situation is unique though. It's rooted not in prophecy or power, but in personal loss and vulnerability. Arin's longing for his parents drives him to make a choice older ninja might never have imagined, allying with a villain. This was a bold move by the writers, showing that Arin isn't a one-dimensional, cheery newbie. He has depths of pain and a need for family that Ross exploited. Longtime fans can appreciate how this adds layers to Arin's character. We empathize with him. After the merge, he was a lost kid who found a new family with the ninja, but the chance to save his real parents was a temptation of Morrow-level proportions. It's reminiscent of when Kai was tempted by promises of power in Season 4, or when Naya struggled with joining the sea in Seabound. Characters push to their emotional limits. Over Season 3, Arin grows from impulsive and emotionally driven to a more balanced hero. Yes, he stumbles. Following Ross was a mistake, but he learns from it. By the final episodes, Arin takes responsibility for that choice. He returns to help defeat Thunderfang, showing he won't abandon the people who became his family. And in confronting Ross, Arin proves his integrity. He won't achieve his goals through dark sacrifices. This growth arc endears him even more to fans. It's classic Ninjago storytelling, a ninja understanding the balance of duty versus personal desire, much like when Lloyd in Season 10 had to let go of bringing back the departed to stop Garmadon's Oni. Arin ultimately chooses the higher path, and it pays off when he finally reunites with his parents in a truly tear-jerking scene. Let's not forget how capable Arin becomes. By Season 3's end, he's not just the kid who can spinjitzu accidentally. He's developed as a fighter, even inventing object spinjitzu, a quirky technique where he incorporates objects into his spinning attacks. Arin's combat style is inventive and fluid, reflecting his playful personality. And he's training under Lloyd, so we see shades of Lloyd's influence in his leadership moments too. Perhaps the most beautiful aspect of Arin's journey in Season 3 is how full circle magical it is. He starts as a wide-eyed fan inspired by the old heroes. By the end, he is a hero inspiring others. The scene of Arin hugging his parents with Lloyd and the team around him almost felt like the closing of one chapter of growth. You get the sense that if there's a next big bad, Arin is now ready to face it without losing himself. He's been tempered by hardship, much like the original ninja were through their early trials. For longtime viewers, watching Arin is almost like reliving the thrill of watching young Lloyd back in the day. But with a fresh twist, we root for him because he represents the future of Ninjago, carrying forward the lessons of the past. In short, Arin's character in Season 3 is a standout. He's courageous yet vulnerable, inventive yet teachable, and he brings a ton of heart to the story. Keep an eye on him. We suspect he might have an even bigger destiny to fulfill. For now, his arc gave us plenty to cheer and cry about. Next up, Sora, our resident tech genius and one of Dragon Rising's most complex new heroes. Sora's journey in Season 3 is deeply intertwined with both the ongoing Imperium storyline and the personal growth of the new team. Longtime fans, if you love character backstories and lore, Sora delivers in spades. Let's recap her background really quick. Sora grew up in the oppressive Imperium Kingdom as a gifted young engineer. She actually earned acclaim there for inventing a hard-light hologram device called the Photak, which, ironically, Imperium later weaponized to create those dragon-hunting Photak beasts. But when Sora discovered Imperium's cruel treatment of dragons, essentially torturing and harvesting energy from creatures that once lived in harmony with them, she couldn't stay silent. In a true act of courage, Sora stood up against Imperium's policies, even defending a dragon named Xanth from harm. The result? She was branded a traitor. Her own parents and friends in Imperium shunned her for siding with dragons. That's the painful origin of Sora's journey. She lost her family and homeland because she chose compassion over conformity. After the merge, Sora is effectively a refugee in a strange new world, which is where she eventually meets Arin. By then, she's surviving as a street-smart mechanic and racer, even dabbling in illegal drone races to get by, all while hiding her identity as an ex-Imperium citizen. Dragons Rising. Season 1 and 2 showed us Sora's resourcefulness and her emerging power. She discovered she's the elemental master of technology, with technokinetic abilities that let her interface with and control machines. Think of her powers as a blend of Ninjago tech heritage with a dash of cyber magic. She can literally grab hold of a vehicle or device and infuse it with energy or override its systems, an incredibly cool power that we see her struggle to master initially. In Season 3, Sora's character truly comes into her own. She steps up not just as Arin's loyal friend, but as a heroine with her own agency and courage. When Arin leaves with Ross, Sora is devastated. Remember, Arin saved her life back when they first met, and ever since the two have been inseparable. Rather than just mope or blindly follow orders, Sora takes initiative. She confronts Lloyd and the others about going after Arin, and ultimately, she does go after him, effectively infiltrating Ross's camp. This decision speaks volumes about Sora. She values her friends as much as family, likely because she lost her original family's support. She wasn't about to lose Arin too, even if it meant facing someone as dangerous as Ross on her own. Sora's loyalty is one of her defining traits. In Season 3, we see it tested to the extreme. By joining Arin and Ross, Sora knowingly walks into the lion's den. There's a great moment where Ross questions her, essentially, why betray your ninja friends to help Arin? And Sora fires back that Arin is her friend, and she'll do whatever it takes to protect him. This mirrors her past in an interesting way. Just as she once defied Imperium to protect a dragon friend, she now defies the ninja's plan to protect Arin. Sora consistently follows her heart and moral compass, even if it puts her at odds with authority. That independent streak makes her character feel real and strong. Although Imperium isn't the main villain in Season 3, its shadow still looms in Sora's story. We get that flashback of her leaving Imperium, which adds emotional weight to her scenes. Imagine how she feels teaming up with Ross, an Imperium warlord who literally helped corrupt her home and kill its leader. It's like an ultimate test of resolve for Sora. Can she stomach working alongside a figure representing everything she fled from? We see that tension. At one point, Ross belittles her for being weak like the Imperium, trying to intimidate her. But Sora stands tall. This girl has zero time for Ross's bullying. In fact, her Imperium experience likely steals her. She's seen tyranny up close and won't be cowed again. In a poetic way, Season 3 has Sora confronting the demons of her past and overcoming them. When Ross's true plan unfolds, requiring her as a sacrifice, Sora's quick thinking and techno powers save the day. We witness perhaps her coolest feat yet. Bound Bound by Ross's restraints, Sora centers herself, channels her technokinesis, and overloads the machinery holding her, blowing out fuses and gadgets left and right. It's a fist-pumping moment, seeing Sora literally turn the villain's tools against him. This not only showcases how much more control she's gained over her powers since earlier seasons, but it also symbolizes Sora claiming her agency. Imperium tried to use her inventions for evil. Now she uses technology on her own terms to fight evil. That's character growth wrapped in a badass action sequence. On the personal front, Sora and Arin's relationship deepens this season. Many fans have commented on how much chemistry and genuine friendship these two have. Season 3 puts that bond through fire. We see Sora's despair when Arin leaves, her determination to bring him back, and ultimately her joy when they reconcile. The hug they share after the Ross fight, both apologizing, both relieved, it's one of those warm Ninjago moments that reminds us of Kai and Nia reuniting, or when Zane was found alive. It hits you right in the feels. Whether you interpret Arin and Sora as just best friends or potentially something more down the line, there's no denying they're a formidable duo. They complement each other. Arin's creative optimism and Sora's logical ingenuity combine to solve problems. In Season 3, their teamwork helps, for instance, in devising the strategy to summon the Arc Dragon. Sora figures out the tech angles while Arin rallies the others. It's also worth noting Sora's place among the ninja has some cool parallels to Nia from the original team. Like Naya, Sora is a skilled engineer and often provides the technological solution to a magical problem. For instance, if the ninja need to open an ancient vault with a tech lock, it's Sora who's on it. Longtime fans might recall how Naya built the Samurai X-Mech to fight alongside the ninja. Similarly, Sora upgrades vehicles and gear for the team now. There's even a sense that Naya has taken Sora under her wing in moments. I loved seeing them interact, Water and Tech Masters exchanging nods of respect. Sora might also remind fans of Pixel, except Pixel was literally a robot, whereas Sora is human with a robotic power. The dynamic of human and machine in one character is fresh and intriguing. By the end of Season 3, Sora stands as a confident, selfless hero. She's found a new family with the ninja. The trauma of Imperium still exists, but she's turned it into strength. One can imagine if Imperium rises again, or if she ever faces her estranged parents, Sora will do so with head held high, knowing she chose the right side of history. For us fans, Sora's arc is deeply satisfying. She embodies that classic Ninjago theme that anyone can become heroic through courage and kindness, no matter their origins. From outcast to ninja, that's Sora's journey, and it's only just beginning. I can't wait to see what new tech tricks she'll pull out in future seasons. One thing's for sure, with Sora on the team, the ninja have a futurist and friend they can always count on. Now let's talk about the legend himself, Lloyd Garmadon. For longtime fans, seeing Lloyd in Dragon's Rising Season 3 is both exhilarating and nostalgic. This is the same character we watched grow from a mischievous kid in the early seasons into the ultimate spinjitzu master who defeated the Overlord, and further into a wise leader who saved Ninjago countless times. In Dragon's Rising, Lloyd has transitioned into a new role, the mentor figure and anchor for a new generation of ninja. And boy, does Season 3 put that role to the test. At the start of Dragon's Rising, Lloyd basically inherits the role of mentor because Master Wu is mysteriously missing after the merge. Lloyd is the last of the old guard actively guiding Arin and Sora, and that dynamic has been wonderful to watch. In Season 3, Lloyd's experience is crucial. He's the one who understands the stakes of ancient threats like the Forbidden Five and is often the strategist in missions. But he's also personally challenged in new ways this season. One of the most compelling storylines is Lloyd coping with Arin's defection. Imagine how guilty and hurt Lloyd must feel when his pupil, who he's been training and protecting, suddenly loses faith in him and the team. When Arin accuses the ninja of hiding truths and storms off with Ross, you can see the pain in Lloyd's eyes. This is a new kind of failure for Lloyd. In past seasons, he's lost battles or struggled with his own dark side, but here he feels he failed as a teacher. Longtime fans might recall how Wu often worried about losing the trust of his students. Now Lloyd knows that sting firsthand. Season 3 forces Lloyd to learn how to let go. He can't control Arin's choices, only hope his teachings will guide Arin back. It's a very Wu-like lesson for Lloyd in patience and faith. On the flip side, Season 3 is generous to us fans by reuniting Lloyd with all his original teammates over the course of Dragon's Rising. By this season, Lloyd, Kai, Naya, Zane, and Cole have all found each other again, a reunion that gave us some fist-pump moments. Lloyd, naturally, steps into the leadership role among them. He coordinates their efforts against the Forbidden Five. For example, he splits the group into teams to cover more ground when hunting the prismatic blades, a move straight out of the Tournament of Elements playbook when the ninja had to gather jade blades. The respect the others have for Lloyd is apparent. Kai even remarks that Lloyd has grown as focused as Zane and as fearless as Jay, combining their best traits. It's a subtle nod to Lloyd's development. environment. We also see Lloyd continue to be one of the most powerful ninja. In Season 2, he trained with Dragon Masters to learn the Rising Dragon technique, and that wisdom carries into Season 3. There's a spectacular scene where Lloyd taps into the Source Dragon energy within him to help activate the portal or beacon for summoning the Arc Dragon. It felt like a full-circle moment. In Season 1 of OG Ninjago, Lloyd was unlocking his golden power. Here, he's channeling ancient dragon energy to save the world. Lloyd's elemental power has always been special, and Season 3 reminds us of that. He's able to resist Thunderfang's chaotic aura better than most, and his green energy blasts are key in weakening the Shatter Dragon during the final fight. But raw power aside, what's truly great is Lloyd's heart. He's grown into a mentor very much in the mold of his father Garmadon and his uncle Wu, blending toughness with compassion. Season 3 gives us quiet moments where Lloyd counsels Sora about controlling her fear, or where he comforts Arin, telling him that family is never truly gone as long as we remember them, a lesson Lloyd learned from losing his own father multiple times. When Arin reunites with his parents, Lloyd is as happy as an older brother might be. You can tell he's invested in these new ninja emotionally. For longtime fans, seeing Lloyd in this light is almost like watching your favorite character step into their ultimate legacy. We knew Lloyd as the Green Ninja destined to save the world. Now he's also the mentor destined to shape the next heroes. A major plot point, Master Wu being revealed as the one who caused the merge, could have ramifications for Lloyd. In Season 3, this information is weaponized by Ross to turn Arin, but it surely affects Lloyd too once he learns it. Think about it. Wu, Lloyd's wise guide for years, effectively triggered a world-altering event that caused untold loss. How does Lloyd reconcile that? Season 3 hints at this inner conflict. Lloyd defends Wu's legacy when Ross spews venom about him, but later, alone, you see Lloyd silently questioning why Wu would do such a thing. It's a subtle setup for potential future storytelling. From a thematic standpoint, Lloyd has to grapple with the idea that his mentor wasn't infallible, a sign of coming full circle in maturity. Fear not, even with all the mentorship stuff, Season 3 still gives Lloyd plenty of classic moments that remind us why he's the GOAT. He has an awesome one-on-one duel with one of the Forbidden Five in an early episode, Green vs. Dark, with banter to match the intensity. There's also a fun scene where Lloyd disguises himself briefly as an Imperium guard to infiltrate a base. And one of my personal favorites, Lloyd gets a short reunion conversation with Jay. Jay doesn't remember their friendship fully, but Lloyd speaks to him with such warmth and hope, it nearly mirrors how Wu used to comfort a young Lloyd. It's poignant for longtime viewers who know how much these two have been through. In summary, Season 3 showcases Lloyd as the pillar of the Ninjago saga. He balances being the wise mentor and the heroic frontline fighter. For fans who grew up alongside Lloyd, it's rewarding to see his character reach this stage. He's essentially become the master he was always meant to be. And yet, he's still learning, still human. The show smartly keeps giving him challenges to ensure he continues evolving. With Master Wu out of the picture, Lloyd carries the torch of the first Spinjitzu Master's lineage now, guiding Ninjago's destiny. Season 3 affirmed that he's up to the task, and it was downright inspiring to witness. Beyond characters and fights, Season 3 is rich with lore and world building that expands the Ninjago universe like never before. For those of us who love the mythology of Ninjago, this season was an absolute treat. Let's unpack some of the key world-building elements and how the ongoing Imperium conflict ties into the bigger picture. We can't talk lore without the merge. This reality-shifting event, which happened right after Crystallized, literally merged all 16 realms into one contiguous world. That's the backdrop of Dragon's Rising. Season 3 continues to explore the consequences of this merge. We learned, for instance, that realms like the Cloud Kingdom ended up partially merging with Imperium, resulting in some really interesting geography and politics. The merge caused merge-quakes and chaos, and it's the reason Arin's parents and many others were lost across time and space. What's fascinating is that Season 3 reveals Master Wu orchestrated the merge as a last resort to save creation. This bombshell adds a moral gray area to the lore. Wu's action ended the threat of the Crystal King, perhaps, but at a heavy cost. It's rare for the show to put a mentor figure at the center of such controversy, and it deepens the lore significantly. We see how one event reshaped the entire series setting, giving us a merged Ninjago, where anything from any realm can show up. Longtime fans get giddy at the possibilities. Ghosts from the Cursed Realm in Ninjago City, Serpentine from the Underworld in the Cloud Kingdom. Season 3 hints at these crossovers. Imperium, the high-tech empire introduced in Dragon's Rising, remains an important element. Although Empress Beatrix is absent, likely imprisoned or in hiding after Season 1's events, her regime's impact lingers. Imperium's core idea, harvesting dragon energy to fuel technology, continues to be felt. In Season 3, we still see Imperium tech being used. The claws of Imperium have disbanded or gone rogue, but some remnants try to regain relevance by siding with whoever seems to offer power. What I love is how Imperium's story parallels classic Ninjago themes. It's essentially the the age-old conflict of technology versus nature taken to an extreme. This calls back to Season 3 of the original series, rebooted, where the ninja faced the digital overlord and an army of nindroids, another case of technology run amok. But Imperium is different because it wasn't just evil tech. It was a society that chose fear over harmony, persecuting dragons after Ross manipulated them. Season 3 subtly shows the aftermath of that choice. With Beatrix gone, some Imperium citizens start trying to reform, e.g., planting gardens in Imperium's capital to live in balance with nature once more. This indicates that Imperium might eventually find a path of peace, which is a hopeful note for lore enthusiasts. Season 3's main villains, the Forbidden Five, bring a ton of lore with them. They are described as 5 corrupted elemental masters from millennia ago, effectively evil counterparts to the original elemental masters lineage. This is huge because it expands the history of elemental powers. We now know there were not only good elemental masters but also a group that turned to darkness, founded the Wolf Clan, and nearly destroyed their realm by harnessing Thunderfang's dark chaos energy. The 5 had unique powers and created Shatterspin, which is a frightening new addition to the Spinjitzu family. For longtime fans, this is like uncovering a secret chapter of Ninjago's past. It adds depth. We always wondered if other elemental masters went rogue, or if other Spinjitzu forms existed. Now we have our answer. The Forbidden Five also tie into previous lore threads. They were defeated by Dragon Masters Egalt and Rontu and banished to an alternate space, which connects back to the dragon lore introduced in earlier Dragon's Rising seasons. Plus, their escape involved the Tournament of the Sources, a grand competition of elemental warriors, reminiscent of the Tournament of Elements but on an even more cosmic scale. Season 3 really said, here's a deep cut of lore for you, and we ate it up. Introduced this season, Thunderfang is essentially a dark reflection of Ninjago's benevolent dragons. He's called the Shatter Dragon of Chaos, and his ambition is to become one of the Source Dragons, those being the foundational dragons that each represent a fundamental force of creation. We've known since Day of the Departed and the Oni trilogy that the first Spinjitzu master was the son of the dragon and Oni, meaning Ninjago's world has always balanced creation and destruction. Thunderfang embodies the chaotic destruction side in a very pure form. When he's unleashed, it's said he wants to destroy all the merged realms to remake the universe in chaos. Heavy stuff. The fact that the ninja had to summon an arc dragon to counter him adds a new mythic element to the lore, implying there are specific arc dragons aligned with positive forces that can be called upon. We even get hints of other arc dragons. All this dragon lore ties back to the realm of Oni and dragons from the Oni trilogy and shows that even in the new series, the fundamental mythology of Ninjago is continuing, just with new names and faces. Thunderfang is basically a super Oni in dragon form, and his defeat in Season 3 by the Ninja Plus Arc Dragon reiterates the series' core theme that balance will triumph over chaos. Season 3 treats us to new and familiar locales, enriching the world map. We venture into the Spectral Lands, which appear to be a spooky, ethereal realm, possibly tied to ghosts or the departed. This is likely one of the 2 new realms the writers teased. We also spend time in the merged Ninjago that has bits of the old realms everywhere. For example, there's an episode set in a place called the Casket of Bones. Another interesting location is Imperium's Monastery, which housed a portal gate used in Season 1. By Season 3, maybe repurposed or in ruins. The show casually references places like the Land of Lost Things and Androzani. All these bits make the world feel huge and interconnected. Longtime fans can point and say, oh, I know that realm, when a name is dropped. It rewards our years of following the show's geography. It's worth noting the writers intentionally wove in parallels to previous Ninjago seasons in the lore and plot structure. As mentioned earlier, Part 1 of Season 3 mirrors Rise of the Snakes in that the villains collect ancient blades to awaken a giant serpent dragon, only to be betrayed by it. And Part 2 mirrors Seabound, with the whole trying to harness a storm beast but getting eaten scenario. These nodes are not just cute Easter eggs, they reinforce Ninjago's cyclical nature of legend and history. It's like poetry. It rhymes. The Great Devourer and Wojira were past colossal threats, and now Thunderfang joins their ranks, cementing the idea that each generation of ninja faces a mythic challenge tied to the world's ancient forces. For lore lovers, this is gold, because it makes the Dragon's Rising era feel connected to the classic era. The series is acknowledging its roots even as it builds something new. To summarize the lore impact, Season 3 expands Ninjago's mythology with new realms, new enemies from the past, and deeper dragon lore, all while tying strongly back into themes and events from earlier seasons. We now have a clearer picture of the post-merge world, a patchwork of old realms trying to coexist, new heroes rising to confront age-old evils, and the legacy of characters like Wu influencing events in unexpected ways. The Imperium conflict serves as both a plot engine and a thematic backdrop. It shows what happens when a society falls to fear and tyranny, something the ninja must prevent on a larger scale with villains like the Forbidden Five and Imperium's remnants. To put it plainly, Season 3's world building is a lore lover's dream. It respects the intelligence of longtime fans by giving us meaty history and connections, while also setting up plenty of avenues for future stories. The world feels both familiar and refreshingly new. A hard balance to strike, but Dragons Rising nails it. Season 3 of Ninjago. Dragons Rising truly delivers an experience that longtime Ninjago fans can celebrate. It's epic in scale and deep in heart. We got the thrill of seeing our beloved original ninja in action again, and the excitement of cheering on new heroes like Arin and Sora as they come into their own. The season masterfully weaves in the nostalgia of early Ninjago, ancient serpentine-like threats, parallel story arcs, training sequences, and even musical cues, while also pushing the story forward into uncharted territory with the merge and new mythos. The tone of Season 3 is notably darker and more intense than previous Dragons Rising seasons, and that maturation suits the older teen adult fans. It doesn't shy away from exploring themes of loss, betrayal, and redemption in a way that respects the audience's emotional intelligence. At the same time, it retains the core virtues that make Ninjago special: family, unity, and the courage to do what's right. Watching the ninja family grow and adapt to their evolving world has been rewarding. For those of us who've followed Ninjago for years, moments like Aaron's parents returning or the Forbidden Five's defeat feel earned, almost like the show is saying, "Thank you for sticking with us. Here's something special." Visually and conceptually, we got so many idea-worthy scenes for a video, from the spectacle of Thunderfang versus Arc Dragon to intimate character flashbacks and reunions. As you create your own edits or imagine the scenes, think about using those dramatic wide shots of the merge's aftermath, the color contrasts of green energy versus red chaos in the final battle, and the softer lighting in the emotional reunion scenes. Little touches like overlaying a shot of the Great Devourer next to Thunderfang for comparison, or fading from young Lloyd's face to his older face as he mentors Aaron, can really drive home the legacy theme. Season 3 leaves us with a satisfying conclusion, yet plenty of anticipation. Jay's memory still isn't fully back. Will we see the full return of the Master of Lightning? Imperium is down, but not necessarily out. Could Empress Beatrix seek revenge in the future, perhaps teaming up with a new threat? And what of Master Wu's act? Might the ninja one day attempt to reverse the merge, or will they find a way to stabilize this merged world for good? The questions have us hooked. One thing is clear: Ninjago's story is far from over, and its legacy is being carried proudly by this new generation, under the guidance of the old. As a longtime fan myself, I find Season 3 of Dragons Rising to be a love letter to everything we adore about Ninjago. It's got the lore, the laughs, the ninja kicking butt, and the heartfelt lessons. It respects the past while forging a bold new future for the franchise. If you haven't watched it yet and somehow sat through spoilers, go treat yourself. And if you have watched it, I hope this deep dive helped you notice some details or appreciate the season even more. This season reminded us why we fell in love with Ninjago in the first place. The family bond between characters, the balance of humor and drama, the rich imaginative world. It's all here, evolved and thriving. As we close out this video, one phrase from the show echoes in my mind: we rise. The ninja, old and new, rose to the occasion in Season 3, and as fans, our excitement rises with them. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, Ninjago!